I'm Deborah Prentice with this week's episode of Olsem Wanem. According to Transparency International, many people in PNG tend to lose trust in members of parliament as they are left in the dark, most times not knowing what projects their local MPs have for their district. In answer to that, the Open Parliament project is now being carried out to allow communication and transparency between you and your parliament members.
The Open Parliament project is now into its implementation phase. It was launched in 2012 and is a project that the Transparency International PNG or TIPNG is working on in partnership with the European Union and the Office of the Speaker of the National Parliament. Most people recognize that a transparent government is an essential element of a free and democratic society.
And it is also in line, or it complements or rather support the Speaker's vision to restore, reform and modernize the Parliament of Papua New Guinea. So the project was launched in 2012 with a memorandum of understanding that was signed at the National Parliament. So TIPNG, with the agreement of the Speaker of the National Parliament, has established a database of information on Parliament and the members of Parliament. So information such as MP profiles, Parliament sitting days, members of Parliament's attendance during Parliament sessions. We also have parliamentary publications such as the Hansard, minutes of proceedings, notice papers, the parliamentary services itself, voting records on bills and the progress of those. We also include the district support impact projects or provincial support impact projects, DSIP, PSIP reports and etc. So it's more like we're trying to inform the public, bring to public, provide the public those kind of information.
According to TIPNG, many people tend to lose trust in members of parliament or MPs as they are left in the dark most times, not knowing what projects their local MPs are planning for their districts. The Open Parliament project will act as an information bridge between the local MPs and their people.
We have 4 specific objectives that we work towards achieving this goal. And firstly is to encourage and help members of Parliament to share to the public the work they do and about themselves, or to share with the public about themselves and the good work that they do in the electorates. Secondly, to enable the public to have a better understanding of roles and responsibilities of the elected representatives, which are the MPs. Thirdly, to provide an avenue for the public to communicate with the members of Parliament, as well as the members of Parliament to communicate with their constituents or the public. And fourthly, to increase public awareness on the functions of Parliament, its committees, and its proceedings as well.
Since we are in the technology era, this project website and SMS service will bring information to the people of PNG through the use of the internet and mobile phone SMS. Majority of people who live in rural areas have difficulty accessing information of impact projects for their districts that their MPs are doing for them. But now, thanks to technology, they can be informed and updated.
Last year in June 2014, we launched our website, the National Parliament website, which is www.parliament.gov.pg. We've also launched the SMS service platform, and our target of audience is basically the people in the rural areas. So people in town who have access to internet can view the website or know about Parliament through the website, and know about Parliament and the members of Parliament through the website. And people in the rural areas can know about members of Parliament through the SMS service.
The people's access to government records and reports are vital. Therefore, cooperation from all MPs will be a bonus for TIPNG and the people of PNG as a whole.
From the statistics obtained from the website as well as the SMS, it's overwhelming. Yes. For the website, the analytics or the statistics shows that we have about 20,000 users of the website. We have about 100,000 page viewed, which 32% are returning visitors to the website, and 68% are new visitors to the website. And apart from that, we have about 160 countries who have visited the website. So obviously, people in Papua New Guinea and around the world or globally are very much interested in the work of Parliament and the members of Parliament as well, which is a very good result for us, for the Open Parliament Project, Transparency International PNG, as well as our partners, the National Parliament, the Speaker of the National Parliament, and European Union.
Welcome back as we look at the Open Parliament project. This project allows the sharing of information and transparency between Papua New Guineans and their parliament members. Christine Kula from Transparency International tells us more.
So, and also for our SMS statistics, since the launching or the implementation of the activity or that particular activity in 2014, we have received about 20,000 requests of people in Papua New Guinea, in the rural areas, in towns, wanting to know more about their members of parliament, what their MPs are doing in their electorates. And we also have this. The SMS basically is it provides information such as the member's position, whether he's a minister or a committee member or a governor. It provides contact information, landline office numbers, mobile phone numbers, as well as email addresses of those the elected representatives. And we have the status of their DSIP, PSIP reports, whether they have been accredited or not. And we have 3 impact projects from each of those MPs in their electorate, whether it be infrastructure, education, health. So this kind of information, it's very vital.
TIPNG pointed out that the Highlands and Island region MPs have nearly all their profiles filled. Momase still needs more cooperation from MPs, and Southern region is still a challenge for them to get MPs information.
It is only a handful that that do not cooperate well, but we are working on that to encourage them that it has to be clear that the Open Parliament Project or Transparency International PNG is not an investigator nor a prosecutor. Yeah, we do not do that. Our mandate is to inform, educate, and empower citizens to make an active choice against corruption.
The website is being viewed by thousands not just in Papua New Guinea, but overseas as well.
I would like to encourage all the members of parliament or even their staff to help Open Parliament Project with the data that we requested of, so that, because you must also have in mind that it is not only Papua New Guinea that view the website. We have over 160 countries that view the website, with Papua New Guinea leading, Australia second, US, India, New Zealand, Philippines, Canada, France, Japan. These are the top 10 countries that I visited, and the list goes on to the 160th.
The project, however, needs more awareness, as many Papua New Guineans are not aware of this project.
We need to take out this project, especially to the rural areas, because I think the beneficiaries is the whole public. Our audience, our target group are the people, the national parliament, but it will be really helpful for the people in the rural areas, yes. And I don't think there's a lot of, because we are in the implementing stage, I don't think there's a lot of visibility or awareness in the rural areas. Probably in Port Moresby or in major towns, yes, they've heard of the Open Parliament project, probably through the website, through the radio, through the National Parliament, the Civic Education Team awareness, yes, they've heard about the Open Parliament project. But we need to extend that. SMS service, we have the number, it's a digital number, and it's 70,000 300. So it's 70,300. So you simply type in the name of your MP, the first name and the last name. For example, if it's Christine Kula, then you type in Christine Kula, and there must be a space in between Christine and Kula. So Christine Kula, and you send the name of the MP to 70,300. And instantly you will get a response that gives you the position of the MP, his contact information, the status of his DSIP or PSIP report, as well as 3 impact projects in that particular electorate. Now, you must spell the name correctly, because if you do not spell the name correctly, you get a response saying record not found. Spelling error, record not found. So you have to ensure that you spell the name correctly in order to get a full message. Now, if you do not get through, you can also send a callback request. This is you type the name, you text the first name and the last name of the MP with a question mark, or you can also use the electorate or the district name. So, for example, I am from Central, so if you want to type in a member from Central, and if you cannot, if you type in, for example, if you can text Honorable Ano Pala, you don't have to put Honorable, but just the name Ano with a space and Pala. Or you can just send Rigo, because he's the MP, he's the member of Parliament for Rigo. So you can just send in Rigo, and then the system will send you a response back giving the details of the person. Now, if you find that for some MPs, they will have full information, full data provided to you. But if you find that, for some MPs, you will have full data provided. For others, you will have NA, which means not available. So not available, these MPs, even we have requested for their information, they haven't given us a despite. Therefore, the fields are not available. It may only show the position and the landline office number, but the rest, it will say NA, meaning that not available. But we are actually still working on that to ensure that all the fields of MPs have been completed and that they have full information provided to the public. Now, it costs 25 toya, the normal tax. If you send your request, you are paying 25 toya, and from our end, we also pay 25 toya. So the user pays, and also for us, the service providers, we also pay.
The European Union has a long bilateral relation history with PNG. They are continuing this tie in many various projects, one of which is the Open Parliament project. In this segment, the head of the European Union of Delegation for PNG, Ambassador Martin Dim, speaks of the significance of the Open Parliament project. The European Union believes that the Open Parliament project is a project that is of high importance to both the members of Parliament and the people of Papua New Guinea for a democratic society.
It's good for Parliament because it spreads information about its functioning for the country. That's number one. Number two is it's good for members of parliaments, because members of parliament have, through the website, possibility to speak about their ideas, to speak about their activities, what they do for the nation as such, but also for their districts, for their constituencies. They can spread information about what they do with the monies, for example, for their districts. And they can spread information about their political ideas for the future of the nation. So it's a very cost-effective, in fact, it's a free possibility for each and every member of parliament to go to the wider public and explain their plans and activities and intentions and ideas. And certainly it's good for, of course, for the voters, for the electorates, because they can find all relevant information about their political representatives in the country in a neat place, which is this website. Attached to this website is an SMS function, so you as a citizen of Papua New Guinea, you can also send queries to your MP and get answers to it about certain points of particular interest to you. And we have seen a lot of interest in this function in particular, so MPs get questions from the electorates. So overall, it is a good platform that enables a closer exchange between politicians on the one hand side, members of parliament, and their electorates.
Such projects on transparency in governments have been successful in other countries around the world. And promoting transparency in the PNG government is a positive step forward.
Transparency is at the basis of an effective administration generally, but also of an effective development of policies that are accepted by everybody and that help the country as such forward. Transparency is in wide sectors of society an important principle, but certainly also in particular in the public sector, where in the end all monies and powers are derived from the population. So the population wants to know what's happening with the powers and the funding that is derived from them, so to speak. And that's an important principle.
The head of the European Union delegation in Papua New Guinea emphasized that this project creates a two-way communication channel.
We have seen a lot of interest in this function in particular, so MPs get questions from the electorates. So overall, it is a good platform that enables a closer exchange between politicians on the one hand side, members of parliament, and their electorates. And we think that's good for democracy generally, because it enables a free flow of information in two directions. For the next elections, for example, it will support quality elections, because people are able to inform themselves. MPs are able to get into closer contacts with their constituencies to make sure that everybody knows about them in the right way. They want people to learn about their activities and so on.
The important message to remember is transparency is the key to democracy in every democratic society.
The Open Parliament project we have heard in the past being linked to a nice sentence which says, oh, parliaments can only work if they're open. They are like parachutes in a way. And this applies to many sectors of society, but certainly to parliaments. Transparency is a major ingredient in that equation.
Welcome back. As you know, many people in remote places in PNG have difficulty accessing many basic services, such as health and education. In this segment, we look at how YWAM works in reaching out to people and providing medical assistance.
coming up to Papua New Guinea since 2007 and I've travelled a lot throughout this country, but right here in the Barma region is definitely the poorest region I've seen. Even when people do find the means and the ways to get to these clinics, they arrive there and there's just no supplies anyway.
There's no hospitals around there, no aid posts. Most of them are not educated, so that they can't be able to look after themselves.
The health challenges in the Western Province are enormous. We have some of the lowest health indicators. When I came to office, I was overwhelmed.
The excuse for the tyranny of distance, terrain and remoteness are used to explain why around 6 million men, women and children in Papua New Guinea don't get the basic services they need. It is an excuse, but not a justification.
My small sister died because she was delivering on the ground. They never take them to the hospital. We used to drink water from the river. Some of the children will get diarrhea. They used to die.
It was one thing to hear statistics, but to come here and look into the eyes of a child who's going unconscious with malaria has really touched my heart.
Seeing how my people are really suffering, it really affected me and really changed something in my heart.
There definitely needs to be a lot more dentists in the country. Most of the dental problems actually faced by people who can't get access to services. And so if you have a toothache and to travel 1 week, I just can't imagine that.
There's some unacceptable health inequalities in the world, and we have the opportunity to make a difference.
Change in Papua New Guinea is not impossible. Already, we've reached 594 villages, delivered 249,000 health and training services, and upskilled 551 healthcare workers with our current ship, the MV Pacific Link. A new ship will help us reach further upriver, across more provinces, with more volunteers, and for longer lengths of time, increasing our work by over 500%. This means 1.3 million people, a quarter of the nation, would have access to healthcare, immunisations and health training. The ship will operate as a mothership. Patrol tenders will be launched from the vessel to reach extremely remote coastal communities with essential health and training services. The new vessel's operating theatre, dental clinic, outpatient medical and surgical facility and lecture rooms will treat isolated villages in desperate need and train and upskill healthcare workers, medical students and dentistry students to help PNG develop their own nation. An onboard laboratory will diagnose and treat disease and give access to help world-class experts develop new strategies to see long-term change and development to beat infectious disease.
I look at these strong babies trying to fight off an infection and I see all over their face, I want to live. And I work with the community health worker serving in this community and I see I want to live written on them. And it draws out of me this strong cry that I think unifies all of us, that we want to live.
Youth with a Mission, a volunteer church-run organization, will continue to provide medical services through its medical ship MV YWAM. PNG patron of YWAM, Serebi Namaliu, said this YWAM medical ship program has been providing medical services to areas in the Gulf and Western provinces only since 2009.
Central, Milan Bay, Oro, and for the first time in Mamase, in Morobe province. So in order to fulfill that program or that expansion, obviously it was necessary to look at the option of purchasing a bigger ship with a bigger capacity that can cover the whole of the southern region as well as Yuan Gulf, mainly the Yuan Gulf of Morobe.
Through this program, healthcare programs like immunization, dental checkups, and treating pregnant mothers, eye testing and surgical operations were conducted in health facilities in these areas.
This has a very, special sister-city relationship with the capital of the Morabit province. That we've now got a community ambassador we've set up in Cairns, where there's a very high proportion of Papua New Guinean people living. And that's about people to people. That's about helping each other. It's about having, good Christian and moral and ethical values and being able to help each other.
However, while seeing the need for many people in other areas affected by health problems, it has expanded its services to areas along the coast of Central, Milne Bay and Morobe provinces, especially Uon Gulf.
And the perseverance you see of the people in really, really difficult circumstances, living amongst the mud quite literally because they come from the Gulf or the Western Province where there's a lot of mud, or perhaps they're from a very remote island in Milne Bay, yet they manage to stand strong every day and continue to fight for what they believe is right and continue to go after healthcare.
At its first commissioning ceremony yesterday, Prime Minister Peter O'Neill announced that the government will provide additional funding and support through health supplies and its facilities. O'Neill said this is part of the government's continued support to strengthening relationship with churches, NGOs and developing partners through health services in the country.
So this is an example of one of those partnerships that we would like to continue to build on. So over the last 3 or 4 years, we've been able to fully fund the 10-year national health plan that we have introduced in this country 4 or 5 years ago. Close to 2 billion kina a year out of our national budget goes to health funding in the country.
This is in line with the country's National Millennium Goals, 10 years National Health Plan and PNG Australia Development Partnership Program.
And that's all for this episode. If you would like to share a story, please send us an email via the address showing on your screen or visit us on our Facebook page. For now, enjoy the rest of your viewing on your #1 station, EMTV, the lead broadcaster of the Pacific Games.